Hi, and welcome to Higher Ed Live. My name is Dak Dumbo, and today we have a very special guest in an event we like to call Homeschooled. With me today is Professor, or as you might like to call him, Dr. Todd Holmes. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So a little background on our good friend Todd. He is a professor at SUNY Paltz in digital media, and he has a lot of work experience with television stations and sales. No cars, I might add. He was voted actually most social in high school, so you know this guy's got a lot to say. He attended James Madison University in his undergraduate and the University of Florida. Let's give him a round of applause. Thanks for joining us again, Todd. So I got a couple of questions I'd like to ask you for our audiences back home.
Okay.
So to start off, you've had a very illustrious career. What would you say has been like the best part of it?
Well, I would say really currently where I am right now. I think I'm at a good place. It took me some time to get into higher education, and there were a number of different things that directed me where I am now. But I would say right now, I feel like things are going well. I've been here now about 3 years, really enjoying the interaction with students, having the chance to include some new classes, things like that. Like I did the social media class that I developed last fall, and great experience. Want to continue that. So I would say, and then also my involvement with different organizations and with scholars at other universities, and also some professional consulting and things I'm doing. So I would say, this is a really good point right now.
Nice. So what are some positives from working at SUNY New Paltz, and also on the other side, what could be some negatives too?
Well, I would say, the positives, first of all, definitely the students are great to work with. They're very intelligent, they're articulate, they're for the most part, driven, and they've been, friendly and good to work with. Certainly, also my colleagues in digital media and journalism, then across the campus, I've met some great people, some people that I've become very, very close with, and that's been very positive. I feel like it's a positive energy on campus overall, and so those things are positive. I think certainly within our department, digital media and journalism, we're growing very rapidly. I've been told that we're the fastest growing department on campus.
Wow.
So, that's something to feel really good about, and I look forward to really growing, seeing the department continue to grow, and hopefully one of the things I'm tasked with, being the only full-time person in media management, is growing that particular track. As far as negatives, nothing other than just the normal bureaucracy that you have at the state university, or really any university to that matter, that, there's just a lot of different, as compared to when I worked in private industry, just decisions and everything just kind of goes a little slower pace. There's just a lot more layers, when you get down from
it's like an onion.
The president, right, exactly. Going from the president's office down to the dean, down to the department level. So it's just, things move a little slower. But again, you really can't escape that when you talk about a state university.
So to change the tone just a little bit, you work a lot with the media industry. Over the last decade, things have been changing extremely rapidly, and it's an ever-growing market. So where do you think it's going to go from here? You mentioned, that the technology landscape in this digital media environment is growing. So what do you see potentially happening?
Well, Alex, that's a great question. Actually, that actually isn't your name, is it? Right?
That was my last name.
That was your last name? Okay, all right.
Horrible changing process. Last episode we discussed it. It's a new thing. It happens all the time, but please continue. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Well, the thing is, one of the biggest changes right now that I think is exciting for the industry, but it's hard to get a handle on, is just this idea that media has become more decentralized, where it used to be that, you had these major companies, and back in the days of traditional television or radio, these companies would make decisions on content and on distribution, marketing, and then that would funnel on down to the consumer, who basically just would choose to watch or listen to content or not. Whereas now there's a lot of sharing of content and things. This whole idea of participatory culture is something that Henry Jenkins, for instance, media scholar, talks about, where now people are sharing lots of information on Facebook. And matter of fact, when it comes to news and things, I know a lot of younger people, including myself, they might first get their news from social media. Maybe later they'll turn on the television to get a little bit more detail, but just the way information is disseminated, and the fact that because of social media and all this and new platforms, we can know a lot more about people,
Absolutely.
what they want. Like we can do data analytics where we know
Yes.
exactly what websites they're going to, exactly what they're buying and all that,
Now-
even though it's a little scary sometimes.
Now, all of this is just blowing my mind right now. Mr. Holmes, I want to thank you for a great round of questions, and after a little processing and deliberation, we'll be back. So thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess
Is that enough?
4, 3.
Hi, welcome to A Higher Education Live. My name is Dak Dumbo, and today we have a very special event with our good friend Todd Holmes. Todd, thank you for coming.
Great,
We'd
thanks
like
for
to
having me.
call this Homeschooled. So a little brief introductory for my friend. He is a professor here in digital media at the University of SUNY New Paltz. He has a lot of work experience in television and radio, and he was voted most social in high school. So you know he's a great guy. So he attended James Madison University in his undergraduate, and then he went to Florida University for his master's and doctorate. So, Todd, thank you again for coming. I want to start off with a little light tone. What's this about you being most social? How do you think you got such an award, a prestigious award such as that?
Such as that. Well, I just was very talkative with a lot of people, and I had parties in my house. So,
So
that definitely helped.
So when the parents
you
were
know.
away, Todd would play.
Yep, yes.
Nice. So then tell me, what are some of your hobbies and interests then?
Hobbies, I like the outdoors a lot, and one great thing about this area, there's lots of great hiking and things. I like, into working out and running. I'm trying to get back into the gym and things like that. Although I prefer
aren't we
being
all?
outside.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Mhm.
That's true. I enjoy snow skiing. My father lives out in Colorado, so I'll be there around the holidays, and then occasionally do some skiing here.
Interesting.
In the
Wow.
Northeast as well, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, I enjoy water sports too. I enjoy
Okay.
water skiing,
Yeah,
but I
no,
really haven't done
definitely.
it in a while.
So let's kind of shift gears a little bit. Let's talk
Sure.
about the ever-growing landscape of the media field, as you know very well. When it comes to these big conglomerates, what can you say or advice for like a mom and pop news station or a smaller time network? What would your advice be to someone who's like trying to pursue something in this field?
Okay, someone that wants to work for a small,
Yeah, like
smaller operation?
let's say someone wants to work for a smaller network to get to a big network. How would someone go about doing something like that?
Okay, well, first of all, having internship experience is important, and of course that's a requirement within our major. So yeah, getting that experience, making sure that, finding out, of course, what you like and what you don't like about different companies, whether you intern a big or small company. I would say, just having the opportunity to do a variety of different things, and just be careful. When you go to interview places, make sure that you're asking as much about them as they're asking about you, because you're interviewing them.
And
as
don't
well.
show up in your birthday suit either.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably it's
That would
generally
not-
frowned
yes.
upon. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that is.
So to kind of get into our latter part of the questions, I just want to ask you about like your job here on campus. You are a professor, but are there other things that you have to do? I'm sure you have a very busy schedule.
Yes, there is a lot. A lot of times that students think that all we do is teach, and that is a big part of what we do. And personally, that's the reason why I got into this business for teaching. But a big part of also what we do is research and things where we have to get things published, either writing books or doing articles, or whether the articles go in academic press or go in popular press.
Absolutely.
It's really important in developing our reputation. Also, service work. We do a fair amount of that, whether it's advising an organization, or whether it's it could be other opportunity, things like open house events for incoming students, potential students, that kind of thing. But even service to the overall field, which involves being involved with academic conferences and other things.
Now that's a full Thanksgiving plate, I might add. So we're actually running out of time tonight. So what we'd like to do to wrap up is kind of give a big shout out. Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Gators? Or anybody?
Well, we could do Go Gators, sure.
Go Gators, everybody. Thank you for
2 degrees from
joining.
there. Thank you.
Great show tonight, guys. So tune in next week, and I'll be having Ben Affleck.
God. Oh, you said Florida University.
Yeah, University of
I
Florida.
knew-
I started
saw-
to correct you,
I knew you were like,
yeah.
Three,
Hi, welcome to Hudson High Notes. My name is Dak Dumbo, and today we have a very special guest with an event we like to call Homeschool. Todd Holmes, thank you for joining us today.
Oh,
It's
thank
been
you
a
for having
pleasure.
me, Dak.
Yes, so a little background information about our buddy Todd. Todd is a professor for digital media at SUNY New Paltz, and he's got a large degree of experience in the radio and television field, and he was voted most social in high school, so you know he's a charmer. So a little bit about his college career. He attended James Madison University in his undergraduate and the University of Florida for his master's and PhD. So again, a big Gators round of applause for our buddy.
Thank you.
So we're going to start off with some, basic questions about, this ever-changing media landscape that we're surrounded in. Now, you see a lot of these companies popping out. You see Disney, Viacom. What does it really take to kind of ingrain yourself in a career like that?
Well, I think it starts with obviously what you learn in the classroom, then be able to expand upon those skills and through an internship, which is certainly a requirement within our major. So I think those kind of experiences are key to have, and I think certainly networking is very important. There are tools that make networking a little bit easier now than really that it's ever been. Things like LinkedIn and different ways that you can network digitally with people. So I think all of those things, and just having a clear area within media that you're really, really interested, whether it's production and you've got very specific skills there, or whether you're more
finding
interested
that niche.
in finding the niche. I think that's really important, and playing up that niche and not being not holding back on promoting yourself and promoting the things that you can do that make you unique from other candidates.
Yeah. So to go back a little bit, I want to kind of hear about after you graduated high school. What did you exactly see yourself doing? Because I'm sure this wasn't in the plans all along. The book wasn't finished then. So what was going through your mind when you graduated high school, college, and what made you say oh, I want to be a teacher?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of things. I actually initially wanted to be a television anchor person. That was actually my initial interest, and but then as I kind of began, taking some college classes and things, I decided though actually to go into marketing because I'd always enjoyed sales and thought maybe I might want to make a career in that. So I worked first outside the media industry, but then I was really drawn back to it because of a childhood interest in production and being involved, doing things creatively on film, so or on videotape anyway. So so that was always there. And then as I worked for a while, I began to think, okay, maybe I'll go back to school. When I started working, especially in television, I loved it and thought this is what I want to go for a master's in, and I pursued that. And then as a master's student, I had an opportunity. I had a professor that was away at a conference. I had an opportunity to fill in for him, and did it.
Fill the boots.
Yep. Really enjoyed the experience, and said, you know what, I'm gonna take this route.
We got the next Lauren Michaels on our hand over here. So to go a little less serious to round out our group of questions, you mentioned that you went to Florida. This Tim Tebow guy, what's his deal? 1 minute he's playing football, the next minute he's playing baseball. Get this guy a cricket paddle.
Right. Well, he definitely has many talents. There's no doubt about that. He's certainly revered in Gainesville, Florida, where University of Florida is,
and he's a hunk.
And all that. Well, yeah, the ladies do think that,
of course.
And but I mean, he's I always root for the guy. I mean, he's definitely definitely knows how to get a team motivated.
Yeah.
And he definitely sets a positive example for kids and everything. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully he'll make it with the Mets.
Make it work. So my final question: vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla.
Vanilla? Exactly what I wanted to hear, ladies and gentlemen.
With chocolate.
Oh, so okay, you gotta have the mix.
Yeah, the mix. Yeah.
Just no almonds, no nuts, none of that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the most spectacular show in my 20 years of service to the industry. Todd, another big Gainesville clap for you, big guy. We had a great show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, Ben Affleck and the cast you couldn't believe. We got Saturday Night Live here. Good night, everybody.
Was that good on the timing?
Cut.
Looks like you were